Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Cosmic Metamorphosis. My name is Kat. I wanted to talk about a few things today, so I've got a few ramblings. Anyway, I wanted to show you some stuff that my local rock and gem show over the weekend. I went and got a few really cool things, and I just wanted to show you some. So I got this really cool obelisk. It's Bumblebee Jasper. Matches me today. It's got the really pretty like grays and blacks and yellows. I love it. It's really rare. I have a pyramid that matches this, so if you ever find Bumblebee Jasper, it is rare and it's getting rarer. So if you find some, buy it. The other obelisk I found, it's some kind of jasper, but they dipped it so it would titanium coat. I don't know if you could see there, see a little bit of that rainbow. So where it's shiny, it has rainbow. But it was the coolest thing, and I've never seen anything like that, so I had to buy it. And then I found a little septarian egg, a little dragon egg. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, I love it. I've always wanted one. I wanted a bigger one, but this one was $20. I couldn't beat it. See the back? Isn't that cool? So it's my little dragon egg. How about that? And then I always wanted a piece of this. So I got one. It's bismuth. So it's that sort of rainbow coating. And it looks like little buildings or mountains. It's really cool. This one I got though because I like the back side. It looks like mountains or pyramids. I love it. So I got that. And then this selenite dagger. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. Liquid light right there. So I'm going to enhance it, and I'm going to wrap some copper wiring around it with some different stones. So my daughter went with me, and she got one probably about this big. It's like a big Bowie knife size. So I had fun. Today I'm wearing it's called a Tibetan wealth stone, and they're really cool. My friend sells these when she does the fairs. I can't do it because we're in too much daylight, but when you go into any kind of darkness or shadow, it glows. It actually glows. They're so cool. She sold so many of these. Yeah, so it makes me happy when I wear it. So if I want to be in a happy mood, I just put on my Tibetan wealth stone. Anyway, today I want to talk about yesterday morning, which was Monday. Today's Tuesday, the 19th of October, 2021. So yesterday I woke up and I just felt like I said to myself, we've had a time shift change. Something's off. Something doesn't feel right. I can't explain it. Like, I don't know if you've been feeling it out there too, but I just felt like there's been a time shift change for sure between Sunday night and Monday morning sometime. And it's funny because after I said that to myself yesterday afternoon, I watched a video from Joanne Dunn. She's got the YouTube channel, I think it's called Pyramid Journey Through Ascension. Yeah, she's a dragon lady. But she talked about the time change and the Mandela effect. But yeah, the time shift is what she talked about too. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she's talking about this because I feel it too. So she just validated it for me that we've actually had this time shift happen between Sunday night and Monday morning. So I don't know how many of you have felt that as well. Anyway, which brings me to, let's see if I can read this because I found Yellow Rose for Texas just posted in 2 hours ago or so on her page. It says, heard yesterday night all of you made a really big stir upstairs, meaning heaven or home, pinging the monitors. They were cheering and hugging and crying. You did it. All of your families are really, really excited. They've identified the last few having problems and are working on that. But virtually everyone pinged. Congratulations. It's going to be a really big party, I hear. So that was interesting with this time shift feeling. Yeah, we did it, which means we're going home. We're getting in the golden age and we're going home. Anyway, I'm happy. Yeah, so for those of you thinking you just want life to go back to normal, it's never going back to what you think of as normal. We've never been in a normal life. Normal is not, going to work, going to school every day, going to work 9 to 5 to just stress at paying bills and worrying about having food on your table and a roof over your head and a running car, and that's slavery. We're going to a place and a time where we don't have to worry about that stuff. We will be taken care of and we will have a good life. And we'll have our friends and family around us. So anyway, my last video I did about the Earth and about the photon belt and about the electronical things not working as we're going through this belt, or I'm thinking this is the portal, this is the gateway to going out the east gate of going home. So we've had the strikes at the airlines. We've just had 2 smaller planes go down, one in Texas today. The trains are down. I think it said in Metro DC. Who else knows where they're down? But I just find it interesting that all of a sudden now these things are not working or not going, they're just not working. So I find that interesting. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the retail apocalypse that started happening in 2017. So I think it's funny, not funny, but I think it's kind of weird that we had so many retail stores close starting around that time. And this is around the time where Trump was traveling the world and these countries were capitulating to him. I'm thinking these stores had something to do with human trafficking. That's why they closed. Because I worked again for Pier 1 Imports, and we would watch videos. We used to watch videos of how like the vases were made or how the ornaments were made, and you could tell these were very poor people. And we used to joke that it's kids, it's child labor. They're forcing these kids to make our ornaments, ha ha ha. And then, come to find out, like maybe that's why they closed, because they were involved in human trafficking. Lots of businesses were, I'm sure. That's why they're closed or closing. Kind of like McDonald's are basically all supposed to be closing because we're gonna find out that they were using special meat in their burgers. If you don't know about that, do some research. It's you won't ever eat there again. I don't think I've eaten there in over a year. I was like, okay, I'm not contributing to that anymore. But yeah, I watched an interview with Gene Decode. He's really good. He said 20 million kids have been saved from these underground bases. 20 million. That's a heck of a lot considering, and that's basically 8 million go missing every year. He was saying how some will be adopted. So some children will be adopted when this becomes public, and some will go off planet. So I have a feeling too, we might have had beings from other planets brought here, like humans were being brought off planet to other planets too, as well, for trafficking. I think we're going to find that out here soon too. But yeah, the med beds that are supposed to be coming are going to be a huge part of their healing, because I've said this before, that they will be able to cure their traumatic experiences that they have gone through in these underground bases, all the satanic ritual abuse, all the genetic experiments, all those things. The med beds will cure their post-traumatic stress disorders. They'll be able to take that memory and wipe it from their mind, so they won't, so they can heal. Yeah. And I think that's why, back in March, when all this stuff started of 2020 and Trump was talking about ventilators, I knew, I'm like, he's not talking about ventilators. Like, every time he talks about a ventilator, just replace it with med bed, and it makes a whole lot more sense. It's like, he's talking about med beds because he's wanting all these companies to build the med beds, and how great they were working on people because they were helping these people they were bringing up from these dumps. So they are curing these people. Another thing I want to talk about was, if you've seen, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, like, the police brutality in Australia and Germany and a few other places. I was watching some of that, and I was watching one video where literally the police was like across the street, and he literally just honed in on this guy. He was just talking to another person on the other side of the street, and he literally, like, almost runs up to the guy, tackles him, and literally throws him to the ground, and like the poor guy smacked his head on the concrete. And I'm like, that is just not human. That is not human. Either that is a clone, either they are, these forces out there, these police forces, either they're cloned beings because they have no soul. Like, how can you do this to humanity when you know, even when they're peacefully protesting, they're pepper spraying them, they're knocking them down, they're doing everything they can to hurt these people. They can't be human. Like, either those people can't be human. So either they're cloned with no soul, or they're some kind of robotoid or something. I don't know, but they're just not human. I think the ones who are human are the ones who are stepping down and don't want to deal with this crap anymore. So that's just something, I don't know if I'm the only one thinking of that, but it just hit me that they can't be human to be brutalizing people the way they do. The other thing that I've been thinking for the last few months is, everyone's been talking about the people that have got the shots, that between September and November, like, we're going to see a lot of the population of them die. And I've never felt that. Like, I've never felt that was the case. Like, I'm like, they're not going to. I don't believe so. And I watched an interview with Tarot for Janine, if any of you know about her. She did an interview with Nicholas Benyamin a couple weeks ago, and she talked about that too. And she said, I don't see, like, what everybody's saying, people dropping dead. She's like, I don't see that. I don't think that will happen. So she just kind of validated for me too that the same thing I was feeling was, I don't think, you have a lot of people dying from it, but as far as, like, them talking about a bunch of people, like millions of people just dropping dead, I don't think we're going to see that. And hopefully this is all coming to a close real soon, and hopefully these med beds will come in. That's the other reason why they have to, these nurses and doctors have to step down and quit, because they're basically making room for hospitals to go under, because we won't need them anymore with the med beds. They're going to cure people. So they're supposed to be beds that will cure and fix people's DNAs after the shot. The other thing she talked about was like she didn't see the Canary Islands. You know, a lot of people are worried about that. The volcano and earthquakes causing a tsunami on the East Coast. I don't see that happening. She didn't see that happening. That validated for me too. That in Yellowstone, people have been worried about that. I don't see that happening. I don't feel into that anything negative is going to happen, because the Alliance, who is working with us, and the what you call the white hats, they have technology, and I've heard Gene Decode talk about it. They have technology that will lessen the effect or calm the effect of something that's getting ready to just blow. They can control it, so it's not as bad. It's kind of like Yellow Rose for Texas, as she was talking about the Earth ship, as we go from vertical on this pole to coming horizontal. Of course, that's going to cause a lot of physical symptoms on the planet. So you're going to have, you know, either tsunamis or earthquakes. The volcanoes are going to go off. There's lakes. I think it was Lake Mead. I saw something the other day that's completely dried up. Like all of a sudden, within a couple days, a lot of these lakes or ponds or creeks, the water's gone. It's just gone. And no one knows where it went. So that to me just says, okay, we're turning and we're getting ready to go through this portal here. Another thing that's been out for several months, if you haven't heard about it, Tartaria. There was a land called Tartaria that had advanced technology where basically it was like a Wi-Fi or some kind of Tesla energy to light up their cities, and they didn't have to have these stupid electric lines that we have everywhere nowadays. We had it back in the 1800s, probably before that, probably even in Egyptian times, because you see those hieroglyphs with like the power posts, the Tesla coils, and the light bulbs. And so we had technology. It's just been wiped from our history books. The elites have done this. They've caused the mud floods, and you hear of so many places that, like, there's underground cities. Okay, there's underground cities. Like here where I live, there's even an underground downtown. They do ghost tours through it. So I haven't been on that, but I would love to. But yeah, they just create a flood of mud, and it just covers up all these buildings. They cover up anything they want to cover up so that we don't know. So the knowledge is lost. They do this, these elites do this every, 100 to 400 years, supposedly. And I think it's not just to wipe out history and to wipe out the knowledge. It's people, humans only live, let's say, 50 to 100 years on average. And we have to go through this reincarnation, and we don't remember our past lives. They do. Those elites, these elite family lines have been here for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And they don't age. And if they didn't create something like this to where everything was completely wiped away and starting over, like we would figure out that, hey, these beings have been around for this long. What the heck is going on? Who are these people? So they try to hide their age. Okay, there's I talked about one of the TV series they had back in 2010, 2011. It's called The Event, and there's a guy in there called the Watcher, and he's able to shapeshift and change his age. So these Watchers have been with humanity for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and they just change their name. They change their identity. Just like in my first videos, I talk about the snake families, the Moloch owl families. These beings are able to just change their identity to a new being, and we never know, who they truly are. There's a movie called Age of Adaline with Blake Lively and Harrison Ford, and it's a really good movie. It's one of my favorites, but it's basically about a woman that has a car accident, and at the same time, this special comet comes through space, and she, for some reason, she gets this power where she never ages. And every 20 years or so, 30 years, whatever, as everyone else around her is aging, she never ages. So she has to move and start like a new name, a new location, a new job. So no one knows that she doesn't age. So it's a very good movie. If you get a chance, watch it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the solar flares. And I've talked about this before. And I just watched an interview with Alex Collier, but he just kind of validated and put it a different way, because someone asked the question, I've heard about Mother Earth, like having this flash and she ascending into the higher dimension. What do you think about that? And he said it will be Mother Earth herself will flash and push herself into the fifth dimension. But if you think about it, Yellow Rose for Texas also, she talks about two flashes, not just one flash, but two flashes. So one's going to come from the sun, which is our alpha. One's going to come from the earth, which is the omega. So basically the sun will shoot off a flare, and then Mother Earth together, and then she's going to decide she's going to ascend. So she's going to flash and turn into the star that she is and move us into the higher dimension. So we will move along with her. And then I want to talk about wisdom, having wisdom. The other night, I had a little argument with my daughter because she's 17. And, at that age, you just think your parents are dumb and stupid and they don't know anything. And I said, well, if you're older, you're wiser because you have more experiences. Like we've been through it. We can tell you this is what you can expect, but teenagers don't want to listen to you. So I just wanted to say that wisdom comes from experience as you age, and mistakes. The mistakes you make in life equal experience as well, too. So most of us who have made mistakes learn from those mistakes. Hopefully you learn from those mistakes, and that gives us our wisdom. That makes us an elder. And I just wish in our society we were more highly respected, because I feel that, as we age, we get wrinkles, our skin starts to sag, our neck starts to sag, we turn gray, and we're just looked at, we get frail, we get sick, and then we're just looked at like we're worthless, like we don't know anything. We don't know any better. But I think it's funny that you have a lot of young people that are wanting to dye their hair gray over these last couple of years. I think a lot of it has to do with Game of Thrones popularity, because the Daenerys Targaryen, she was the mother of dragons, and she had that beautiful just white hair. And I think it seems like ever since then, like kids have wanted their hair like white or just gray. And I think it's kind of funny that they want their hair gray, but yeah, I just think if we need to be looked upon as elders, and that we do have wisdom through our mistakes and our experience. So I just wanted to put that in there. But another thing I wanted to talk about was if you're looking for signs for things, I look for signs every time I go out. Basically, nature. Look to nature for signs or signals for you. A few weeks ago, and I didn't say it on a video because I kept forgetting, but I was driving up my hill and I saw two hawks, and one was coming at the other one. I thought they were fighting until I got closer and I saw one of them had a snake in their talons. I was like, oh my God. It was just the coolest thing because I'd never seen that before with a snake. And so I thought that was really cool. And then the next day, okay, in my mail, I get a catalog. It's a Southwestern Indian catalog. On the very cover, I should have brought it up here to show you. It had a hawk with a snake in his talons, and I was like, oh my God, okay, this is 2 days in a row. This is a sign. This is a sign. So I looked it up to see what that meant. Okay. So it says a high-flying bird, eagle or hawk, carrying a serpent or snake is a symbol of great change. The serpent is a symbol of evil power and chaos from the underworld, as well as fertility, life, and healing. So I thought that was great. I was like, sweet. That just validates like there's great change coming. Great change coming. I'm telling you, ask for a sign from Creator or nature, your higher self, whatever, and you'll get one. You will get one. I have a tarot deck. I don't do tarot too much because every time I've done it or I've had someone do it for me, the meaning of it can go either way. And basically you can make it to where it goes in that direction, or you can change the outcome of that. So I never count on tarot stuff, but I have a really cool deck. It's called the Animal Totem Tarot. And they're pretty big cards, and it's got like an Indian shield with the animal in it. And I love the book though that goes with it because it's a hardback book, and it'll tell you. So if I'm driving and I see like a fox run in front of my car, or I've had a coyote run in front of my car, I'm like, oh, I gotta go home and I gotta look at that. I gotta look at my tarot book and see what that means. So it'll tell you what it means if something like that crosses your path or is in your area. It's a really good book to tell you what that means and how to deal with it. The other thing that I want to say is, like, while we are kind of just sitting here biding our time, things are getting boring, and you want to do things, but you kind of don't want to do things. Like, part of you wants to do things because you're bored and you just want to do something new. Keep learning. It's all about learning. It's your journey. So up until the end, up until that time that we move on to this golden age, just keep learning while we're just sitting and waiting. So learn a new skill like cooking or baking, do some crafting, some painting, get into oils, essential oils, learn what they do, how they heal, get into herbal medicines, get into herbs itself. There's a website called Skillshare where a lot of professionals will on there share their skill and how you can do that yourself. I've been meaning to get in there to learn some stuff, so yeah, check that one out. And I just wanted to end this with a little prayer. So this is a prayer that I had in our hallway as a little girl, and I used to read it every night. And I think it pertains to now especially, and it's called the Serenity Prayer. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it, but it says, Creator, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So it's definitely something we need to think on as we're going through this time. So, Creator, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So I love that. And anyway, I just wanted to hit on some of those topics I've been meaning to, and just got around to, I'm like, what am I going to do for a video? I guess I've been wanting to talk about a few of these things, so here goes. Anyway, thank you so much for all of you, all my subscribers. I do appreciate it. If you like my work, you can support me. If you want to support me, you don't have to. I do this for free. I don't gain any money for doing this. This is on my own time. I just want to share some knowledge with you guys. But if you do like my work, I do have a PayPal donation button, and I did start a Patreon page. I'm still going through the different tier levels though, so we might have a community chat coming. I don't know how often I'll be able to do that. I do want to post some of my crafts on there, some of my artwork, and you'll be able to get a discount through that as well. So anyway, you can support me either way if you'd like, or just share my videos with other people. I would appreciate it. And as Alex Collier always says, energy flows where focus goes. So right now, just stay grounded, get in nature, put your feet in the grass, go hug a tree, watch the sunset, like I said, listen to some good music, get you in the good, happy mood. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I love my tribe. You guys are great. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.